What's going on, everybody? It's hashtag rebound. It's day 18. And yeah, it's been 10 days since I gave you all an update. And well, the biggest reason for that is I've been extremely busy, especially after I took those 4 days to decompress and do almost nothing after my arrival in Texas. On the job front, so far my experience has been the exact opposite of what I went through in Jamestown, New York. Seems like Houston has job opportunities. Right out of the gate, I applied to 22 different jobs rapidly. And, these were just basic bitch, minimum pay, most likely part-time jobs. Because, one problem with Obamacare is that, he, aside from all the things he did to do to train wreck your health insurance, he made it almost impossible for you to find a low-paying full-time job because of the requirement for employers to provide health insurance to every full-time employee. Companies, they went and did what you would expect. They got rid of all the full-time job positions at these low-paying companies, and now they would rather have 150 part-time employees than 50 full-time employees because of the health insurance requirements. So, these fucking Democrats, they fuck up everything they get their hands on. And, don't even get me started on North Carolina yet. That feckless cunt, Kamala, she just posted to Twitter yesterday that we need to send $157 million to Lebanon because the people of Lebanon are suffering. But the people of North Carolina, whose whole cities and counties were wiped off the face of the earth, well, you can all go fuck yourselves, according to the Democrats. You can fill out 50 pages of government bullshit to apply for your $750 check, and then you can get denied, or you'll have to pay it back if by some chance you do get approved for it. All while FEMA is down there right now setting up roadblocks and blocking volunteers from coming down there to help people. So, if you wonder why I got so angry at this government that I said some really toxic things which put me in federal prison for 2 years, well, here you go. Here's another prime example of why someone would get that angry. But that's all I'm going to talk about on the political front today. Back on the job front, I applied to, like I said, about 22 bare minimum jobs just to get the probation officer off my back, because he wasn't happy that I was making real money doing freelance work, more money from a single project than I would make in 3 to 6 months at a bare minimum job. I'd rather focus on building up a client list for my new business, but I also have to work on avoiding going back to prison. So you got to do what you got to do. Out of the 22 job applications, I went on 3 interviews, and I was hired on the spot at one of those interviews and given enough hours at this job to keep the probation officer happy. So they didn't do any background checks or anything other than handing me a stack of paperwork and online training before my first day working as a baker. I'm not going to name the establishment, but even though the pay is lower than I've been paid since I was 20 years old, I did bring home 10 pounds of cookies for my people the other night when we closed. And so, I'm going to say right off the bat, baking cookies for 35 hours a week is not going to help me a lot with my weight loss goals. So, on top of that, I'm cycling to work every day. It's only about 4 miles, and it takes me about 10 to 15 minutes to ride. In fact, it takes longer to get ready to cycle to work than it does to actually ride my bike to work and back, which is kind of unfortunate, but I got to do something to work off these cookies. So, and, everything's flat here in Texas. Everything's a quick bike ride. The wind, at least where I'm located, the wind is calm. It's not ridiculous. It's a pretty hills are fun. Flat is boring when you're on a bicycle, but flat is great when you have to commute by bicycle and you just want to keep a steady pace and get where you need to go. So the point being, I was able to get a bicycle up and running, and I got all of the basics that I need in order to feel comfortable riding in case something goes wrong, like a flat tire, a mechanical issue, being seen at night, especially on some of these crazy roads around here. There are no shoulders and high traffic, and people losing their temper and honking at me. And as much as I want to stick my middle finger up at these people who get a little bit reckless and impatient and start honking at me, I'm in Texas, everybody's armed. One middle finger could lead to the cops showing up, and then I've got a whole bunch of problems to deal with. So I'm just, putting my head down and spinning those feet into circles to get where I need to go. And if people are going to get impatient, honk their horn, well, it is what it is. But it did cost some money. It cost me over $400 to get everything I needed in order to be able to fix flat tires, mechanical issues, get lights so I'm seen at night, a helmet, cycling shoes, and pretty much everything to get out the door. The bicycle itself needed very minimal tweaking and just a little bit of adjustment, lubricate the chain and cables, and it was just a quick, it took me less than an hour to get the bicycle itself ready. So it feels really good to be able to ride a bicycle again and be comfortable doing it. Being comfortable enough that if I, break down on the side of the road, I can fix it and get home. And so bicycling for a commute is a lot different than bicycling for fun when you can just make a phone call and have someone come and get you if you have a flat tire or whatever. Also on the job front, the bicycle shop that I stopped at to pick most of this stuff up is actually pretty famous, and for a few different reasons. And so I just off the cuff just asked if they were looking for mechanics, and so I have to send out an email today with my experience working in bicycle shops. There are some of that experience would lend itself very well for me to have a chance to get in the door there, because of one of the shops that I worked at. They know they're connected, put it that way. I think that would be a cool bare minimum job that would it would be 10 miles in each direction, so it would be a much better workout than the 4 miles each direction that I'm currently riding. And it would help me with my weight loss goals a lot more than eating cookies every day. So, let's see. I'm going to get to work on... Also, I'm going to try and get this bike shop on board as a client for Hard Rock brand. I think they would be a great candidate for numerous reasons, and they're the kind of people that I get along with very well. When it comes to bicycle shops, there were 3 or 4 bicycle shops within a pretty quick drive of where I'm living right now. And when I started to look I had to go find cycling shoes first. And because of the pedals on my bike, and just if I'm going to start putting on any kind of distance, I'm getting cycling shoes and cleats and proper footwear for the job. And that was the most expensive thing I had to get out of everything. And I knew that was going to be the case. And so I went to one of the local bike shops that I didn't really get a good vibe off of their website, but they were open and they were close by. And when I walked in, the first impression that I got was most of the people that work there don't know much about bikes or don't know much about anything. In the store, they're just a bunch of kids who got hired by corporate to do this job, but they're not into it. And they probably have high turnover. And it just seemed like the people that worked there weren't very knowledgeable. They weren't really helpful. They were just kind of, it was not the right vibe. And I was asking about shoes. And here, the cheapest pair of shoes they had were like $150, going all the way up to like $600 for a pair of shoes. But they were just kind of kind of like not helpful, not knowledgeable, and I'm knowledgeable. So I don't even need to be helped by someone who's knowledgeable, but they were just kind of everything seemed overpriced. All of the gear, everything I looked at that had a price tag on it, it was just nope. It was just, it's just one of these corporate bike shops that cater to rich doctors and lawyers who want to go riding their, $8,000 road bikes on the weekends on the bike trail. So we, on a whim, we went to this other bike shop. And on their website, I thought it would be a cooler bike shop to begin with. As soon as I walked in the door, I'm like, yeah, this is a much better vibe. I mean, just as soon as I walked in the door. Nobody even talked to me yet. I looked around the shop and I just could tell. I walked over along the wall. I just scanned some of the prices, and immediately I was like, yup, we're in the right spot. The prices were a lot better. Very helpful when I went over to the shoe section. The dude was really, because I'm picky and I want my shoes to fit right and I want them to be the right. I tried on a bunch of different shoes. The guy was really helpful and cool and easy to talk to. And the shoes that I bought, when I think I paid about $150 or so for a pair of Giro bike shoes. I had to get the SPD cleats, which are another $25, give or take $20, I think they were. But anyway, I checked the prices when I came home on Amazon, and the prices that I paid for all the stuff I got at this bike shop were cheaper than the prices on Amazon for the same stuff. So I was in the right spot. Really cool bike shop, really cool vibe. Totally different than the bike shop I came from to get there. And so that's probably going to be my local shop from now on. I dig the place, and that was the main reason why I asked them if they were hiring, if they were looking for mechanics. And so, who knows, that could turn into something really cool. I have to send out an email today. I would have done it earlier in the week, but their website didn't have a contact form or an email address listed, so I had to go back to the shop just specifically to pick. I went and picked up a couple of things I was missing from my kit, but I went there specifically to get the email address. And so getting connected with the local bike shops, that might even help me with the idea of helping the homeless, if I can find a good local bike shop that would support something like that. But yeah, I want to try and find more clients for my freelance business. And if I need to find like a low paying bare minimum job, it may as well be something I enjoy doing. But the bakery job is pretty cool so far. I got another job offer from a local car wash, but I wasn't able to return the call the day I received it. And so I tried calling the guy back the next day, but I didn't get a response. I got sent to voicemail, and I haven't heard back since. And so I'm really not going to try very hard to follow up over and over again with that one. It would have been another decent bare minimum job, to be honest. It seemed like a cool vibe. It seemed like a good atmosphere in terms of drama and stuff like that. But, right now I'm okay with the bakery. I'm cool with that. I'm pretty skilled in the kitchen, and I'm comfortable with that kind of work. And my OCD, my methodical OCD nature lends itself well to cooking and baking. So I'm very meticulous. I'm very exacting, and I just have OCD if things aren't lined up perfectly and that kind of stuff. And with baking, that comes in handy because baking is a science. Cooking is, I read a meme the other day that said cooking is essentially like having a roadmap, but you can take 20 different ways to get from point A to point Z. And but baking is science, and it's like a architectural blueprint where if you make one wrong calculation, the whole building's going to fall down. So that'll be fun. Last night, we had an entire speed rack of fresh-baked brownies going to the local homeless shelter after I left. So I did do a little bit for the homeless front here in Houston already. And I'm telling you, man, we never had baked goods like this at the homeless shelter I was staying at in Jamestown. These people are eating well here. My God, if we had brownies like this on the breakfast table in Jamestown, I would not be able to fit in any of my clothes right now, in spite of the fact that I was walking 25 to 50 miles a week when I was up there in Jamestown. So, also on the job front, Hard Rock, well, I can't even say it. Also on the job front, Hard Rock brand now has 3 clients. I'm working on 3 different websites, signage, print materials, some video projects, some graphic design work, and other projects for these 3 clients. And my goal right now is to get another 17 or 18 clients over the next year, if I can do that. But I'm juggling a lot right now. So, you know, those clients, they're paid. The people who have handed me money to get the work done for them are my top priority right now. So I have to do whatever it takes to get these things across the finish line as quickly as I can. I've been taking care of a lot of things locally, like just the things like that you do when you move. Opening up a bank account, getting to know the area, finding a good church for Sunday, and just digging into the grind that I'm facing right now. So, if you're wondering why I'm not keeping up on the daily videos, it's because looking for a job, working at a job, juggling 3 to 6 projects for 3 different clients, getting a bicycle put together, organizing your personal life, and trying to dig myself out of crisis mode, it's all time consuming. And I'm pretty tired right now after putting in an 80-hour work week over the last couple of weeks. And I haven't even started talking about the photography work and the things that are on my plate and that front. It's daunting. Right now, if I had my shit together on the photography front, I would be putting out all of my Blue Ridge Parkway, Asheville, Eastern Tennessee photography to try and raise funds for the people who are totally fucked down there right now. But to be honest, I don't even know where I'd send the money to where it would actually get to someone in need versus being dropped into the coffers of one of these do-gooder scams like the United Way or the Red Cross, you know, where your donations for any of these disasters get dropped into a general fund that goes to pay for the director's $600,000 office renovation or the $1.2 million in marketing materials they're putting out next month. It doesn't actually get into the hands of the people who need it. So, plus, you know, I don't want to come across as douchey or like I'm just doing it for self-promotion, you know, being one of those look at me do-gooders. All the proceeds from our sales will go to this cause, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, any ideas on that front would be welcome. But unfortunately, right now, I'm still in a pretty unstable financial position. I don't have a place to live of my own, a vehicle, or much else going on in that respect. And I'm strapped for time on top of all of it because my hours aren't as profitable as they used to be. So that will change if the if the path that I'm on continues. If God has an idea of what he wants me to do to give back to people, then he'll put it right in front of me like he keeps doing lately. As for the video channel, I have what should be a really cool video for all of you. It was sent to me via postal mail this week. In fact, it could be sitting in the mailbox right now. I'm not sure. I haven't checked it. But I do want to sit down and do my own introduction before I show you this video, before I upload it to the platform. But this is one of the last videos that I recorded in Jamestown, New York before hitting the road to come down to Houston. And it will introduce you to one of my clients who's this really cool guy I've been getting to know over the last couple of months. And I want to make sure that I can cross-promote his social media channels and his content as I post this video on my channel and explain the story about it and how it came to be. But if it's out in the mailbox right now, I'll be working on getting it posted on Tuesday this week. Probably spending a good part of the day on just getting that done, along with everything else I got to get done on that day. Saying I'm also going to continue the series on synchronicity, which will include a lot of stuff from the last month, that's for sure. And it really hasn't stopped since I got to Houston. The synchronicity has slowed down a little bit since I got here, but mainly because I'm so busy with all the minutia of my day-to-day tasks right now that I'm trying to cross off the list that I really don't have much time to pay attention to all of that. And I'm in a better place, and I'm in a more relaxed state of mind, and I'm not in this panic crisis mode anymore. So it's fine. Everything's good. Everything's happening the way it's supposed to happen. But right now, when I look at my to-do list, today it said there were 231 tasks on it. So how's anyone going to keep up with that? There are probably things I haven't added to the list that I'm going to think of today and tomorrow and so on. So the only thing I can really do is prioritize that list into what I can actually accomplish and what will accomplish the most good right now. Now, unfortunately, there are things that I want to get done that never will. It's the nature of the game. How many tasks out of 231 tasks can you accomplish? Especially when any of these tasks could be as simple as a 10-minute task, or it could be a month-long project. I average about 15 to 20 of these getting checked off the list every week. And I've been using this system since April when I came home from prison. So that could be, and that could be 15 to 20 tasks, from everything from a 10-minute task up to checking off and completing something that I worked on for weeks or months that just happened to get completed that week. So, like I said, there's so many things I want to do right now, but bear with me because I really need to focus primarily on getting life put back together, finding my own place to live, finding a better paying job, whatever that entails and whatever that takes, and getting my transportation needs sorted out. Getting a gas guzzling vehicle would be, a really great move forward. Being down here in Texas, there's a lot of used vehicles available that are pretty cheap and rust-free. Not having to worry about the whole bottom of the car falling off because it's been rusted through will be a neat experience. I haven't really ever bought a Southern car before, so that'll be interesting to see how that goes and to see what I find there. But things are moving in the right direction. I don't really have any useful information for any of you, but keep an eye out for another video update this week. I hope that I'm going to get it posted on Tuesday, but it's going to require some shooting and editing for me to make that happen. But as long as it's in the mail right now, when I go out to the mailbox and check that, it should be good to go. It should be something I can get done on Tuesday. And so with that, I'm just going to end this update because I have a stack of client work I want to get off my plate today, and I also want to go to church. So I hope you're all having a good time. Hope that you're all able to accomplish whatever you're trying to get done this week, and all those usual things. The plugs, I'll just plug the shop.litgood.com, but to be honest, I don't really care about the plugs right now. If you got money to help somebody out, send it down to the people in North Carolina who are flooded out and who don't have a home and don't have a town and who, these people who the federal government have set up a barricade around to keep volunteers from coming in to help them. Do something for those people, because I'm in a better place right now, and hopefully I can get into a place where I can be useful to some people who are going through some shit one of these days soon. And with that, I'm just going to let you all go. Hopefully I'll get another update out this week. And until I talk to you again, peace out.